This video celebrates Mother's Day. We at Banking Frontiers interviewed 10 professional women working in the BFSI sector to understand their expectations, challenges, and solutions for an enriched and balanced motherhood and professional life. In this video, we cover 4 topics. First is careers, goals, and expectations. Second is problems. Third is family support. And fourth is solutions. This is one of several videos that we are sharing. Other videos will cover other topics. Women come to career and motherhood with a variety of expectations and sometimes no expectations. They also have different goals. See their vivid viewpoints in this section on career, goals, and expectations.
So it's interesting when you are growing up, when you watch these cool movies with high-flying women and their careers, you have a very glamorous impression of how things are. But in reality, it's a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, right? Because it's hard. It's just hard to balance. So I do think that that while all of this seems glamorous very often, it's good to have a lot of planning when you're actually going about if you want to manage both.
See, really, when you start off, like I'm a South Indian, I'm from a conservative South Indian family, and all you needed to do as a child was study, right? We didn't have to do anything much, just concentrate on what you're supposed to be doing. So I was always in that mindset that, it was always clear cut, regimented studies, even in law school, it was always like that, where you exactly knew what you were doing. And then you really thought you could make a big wave of everything that you've done, have taken a master's and have started working. Firstly, it is a harsh reality when you start working that, you need to work in one box, right? You can't really do any major strokes in, say, the first year or whatever. You need to do the drill, and you don't expect that. So that was like a surprise for me in terms of career, that you really have to weigh it down. And it's not like what you see in movies or you read in novels, like, a junior lawyer could do so much. So all that was a reality check for me.
So, when you ask about expectations, honestly, I have no expectations. I just walked into it to take it as it comes because, I wouldn't have compromised either on my kids or on my career. They were both sacrosanct to me and I was ready to take on whatever challenge. So, but I would still say it's better than any expectations I would have had.
Yeah.
My journey has been very, very fulfilling.
And when you are in a corporate job, you don't have an option. Either you are at 0 or you have to run at 100 speed. So you really don't get that option of slowing down and, looking after things at your speed or at your convenience. I was so passionate about my career that I could not even think of, not working or giving it up even for a day. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things.
Honestly, I did not put any expectations around, how I want to do things. I just took a step at a time and it just went through. I won't say it was all hunky-dory or all set out right. There were many ups and downs and many learnings that came my way, that came across.
So I started my career, Sneha, quite early, and obviously, like all other milestones, motherhood was a milestone that I always wanted to go through. At the same time, not leave my career aspirations. So the expectations were very clear that I would be not compromising my motherhood. At the same time, also ensure that I take growth a little slower because I wanted that I focus on motherhood at that point. And it was very well planned in advance that I wouldn't be, being a little aggressive for the time that, Arwa would need me. And once she would be around 3 or 4 years, that's when, I would want that I become more aggressive again and, cope up with what I left behind. So aspiration for me, or success for me, was or still is probably managing the roles that I am with complete honesty and doing justice the best way possible. And like I said, we had a lot of expectations, right from being a mother to working, and then meeting those expectations, just not for yourself, but also for the child, for people that you're staying with. So meeting expectations of my in-laws, having that shift even at workplace.
Every lady in this study faced problems while balancing career and motherhood. Let's hear them describe their problems in their own words.
Now, in my case, the actual experience, what happened was, so I got married and I moved to New York. And I also got pregnant and had a baby while I was in New York.
Okay.
Now there, I was living with my husband. I was at Morgan Stanley. I was living with my husband and had the baby, and I had no other support.
Okay.
In India, you have the luxury of having support. If you're lucky, you live in the same city, etc. So there, we had to really plan to have a good nanny that I interviewed before the baby was born. And, even so, and also at the time, maternity leave was only 12 weeks.
Okay.
So at the 12-week period, I felt so guilty about leaving my daughter home, because I felt like 12 weeks was really not anything, right? It's very tough.
But when I started my family, it was a whole new 180 for me, right? It was always juggling different things at different times. And then again, another box came up, which was another priority for you. So from a carefree person to doing so many things and, prioritizing everything together was a juggle. I'm sure all women go through this, or all people go through this. Really, I can't really say women. Men also go through the same things. But juggling all these balls, and sometimes a curve ball just comes to you without you really knowing. And I thought I could wing everything, and that sometimes does not happen.
Yeah.
So, in the early stages of my kids, when they were below 7 or 8, after that, there is a big shift in the requirements. There were times of guilt, right?
Yeah.
That massive guilt which comes for not being there. It's like, I'm in office and I get a call that my elder one has learned how to swim. I just couldn't get over the fact that I wasn't there when he learned how to swim. So next day I took leave. I went to the swimming pool. Coach, I said, let me see. So, those times when you felt I wasn't there to talk to them when they came back from school, because that's when kids are most chatty and they won't catch up with you on the phone. Or to sometimes not be able to put them to sleep in the night because, there are official engagements, etc.
Raising a child and pursuing career is like, riding on 2 horses at the same time. So it requires immense amount of balancing. And you can't say that one is lesser important than the other,
There comes a point where you have to shift between your, just not the moods, but your emotions. Because at workplace, you're expected to be more dynamic, more sorted in terms of your emotions, very well balanced, so that you are more decision oriented at workplace. Whereas once you're back home, the shift is completely to extreme emotion, where your child would be waiting for you. You would want to be with your child. That's that unconditional love, even if you're tired or stressed.
Career women, when it comes to family front, they have 2 kind of dilemmas mainly. One is when they are away from home for days together, say going abroad or going to a different place within India for days or for weeks. So when you are absent from home, that is A. And secondly, when day-to-day life also, when you spend long hours in office or for office, and you are not able to devote as much time to children as you would have given, if you were not a career woman. So these two kind of things.
Every woman in this study affirms that a large part of her success depended on the support she received from her husband, parents, and in-laws, particularly for taking care of children. To paraphrase a well-known saying, behind every successful career woman is her family.
And my whole journey has been hugely supported by my family, my parents, father-in-law, mother-in-law, my husband. I must say, very superlative, because they've always taken pride in what I do, right? And they made sure that while I was away, the kids were loved at home, taken care of, fed very well. This boy is very fond of eating, fed very well. And, it just, they made sure that I had time to focus on my priorities, and I didn't have to do anything that somebody else could do.
I do remember, at a point in time where my parents used to live in Bombay, we used to actually live in Bangalore, and he was much younger at that point in time. So while I had a full-time maid, but if I had to go for even travel, I would literally fly out of Bangalore on travel, and I would get my father to fly in for 2-3 days to stay with him. So we used to always joke that me and my father used to meet each other when we were crossing planes. So I guess that helped, for those. So rather than trading off, not going for a seminar or not going for a workshop or not going for reviews, we used to try. At least my father used to help me out balancing this combination of looking after my child when I was, looking after my professional career. So maybe he also learned more from his grandfather for living with a different perspective for a few days.
I took all the support that I required from people around me, my family, my extended family, my husband, and just went on one step at a time.
But I have always believed that I was fortunate enough to have, great support in my husband and in my mother. They really took care of Asim when, he was very, very young, at least till he was 10, 15 years old. They really took good care of him.
So, when I got married and when my husband and me were thinking about starting our own family, obviously the first question came in, what support do I get to continue both my career as well as, and actually building a family of our own. But I must say that I got a lot of support from my husband. He stood like a rock, and also my in-laws, because I had a very open discussion with them, saying that yes, we would like to start a family, but I would like to continue with my career. I wouldn't want to give up my career. And I would say my in-laws stood by me, and they gave me all the support and pushed me ahead and said, yes, we are there. We will take care of the children. And if we face challenges, we will take it at that time. So I would say that things have panned out and worked out exactly as per my expectations from the support that I had.
Fortunately, I did have a lot of support, be it from my husband, be it from my in-laws, be it from my parents, and that really helped me.
For the first part, I'll say the answer is simple. When you are not in station and where you are traveling, your spouse must support. First of all, he should step into your shoes, take care of children. And if not spouse, then a family support system should be there, which is a near substitute of, mother being away and this thing. So this is first prerequisite for the absent part itself.
All these ladies either found solutions or created solutions. And what a variety. See for yourself. Here is the most meaningful part of this video.
But in reality, it's a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, right? Because it's hard. It's just hard to balance. Seems glamorous very often. It's good to have a lot of planning when you're actually going about if you want to manage both. But the other element that I wanted to point out is it's good, right, for the people important to you that they should understand where you are coming from, honestly and transparently at all times, because then, expectations are the same.
Yes.
And this is work also, family also.
So reality is, in a day like this, people say, you need to have work-life balance. I don't believe in work-life balance as such. I believe more in work-life integration, because both together, like, while you are having, say, a Zoom call with you, I was just before the Zoom call, I was texting Om's coding teacher saying that can we move the class to another time slot because he's busy right now. So it's just a matter of integrating everything together. Like take that also as an organization, your family as an organization, just like your own. And then I guess it becomes more seamless. I come up across with it. I kind of look at it this way. As you grow in an organization or anywhere, when you have enough of goodwill. So what you do in life is always creating goodwill, investing in your own self and your company, right? So you're always creating something of a goodwill, and there is always a FOMO, like you guys call it, right? We don't want to miss out on anything. Like I can't take a break for more than a week because what would my organization say or think, or I'm replaceable kind of a situation. What if I take more than 6 months of maternity leave, right? Things like that. So, but then as you grow in an organization, you're keeping on investing this. You're not never taking a step back. You're always at the forefront. At some point of time, you also need to divest these things. And somebody did tell me this, just divest your goodwill right now. And in what makes sense to you. So if family makes sense to you, just divest some of it at that point of time. And organizations understand if you've otherwise been good at what you do, right? So when it comes to family, it's always a priority for me as much as work is. But sometimes you need to let go. Sometimes you need to take that break. Sometimes you have to prioritize one on top of the other, right? I've let go of, say, vacations because of some emergencies at work. I've also let go of work when I had some emergencies for my family, right? It's the same thing. You divest one for the other because you have goodwill created in your family as well as at work. So if you come to think of it like that, then I think life becomes a little more easy for women.
Challenges, of course, there are lots of challenges that one goes through. You try to do the best at that point, and you reflect back on your decisions, but don't overdo it so that you never perpetually keep living in the past. So I think therefore I prefer to learn from the past, but not dwell too much on the past decisions.
If you are determined to do it, I think everything else will fall in place. And that means, you have to be extremely strong in pursuing what you are. You have to have a very clear vision, and you just want to do it. That's it. Whatever happens, you just go ahead and do it. And I was so passionate about my career that I could not even think of, not working or giving it up even for a day. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things.
When I used to get into office, I started doing something, very quickly as a new mother. Was the first thing is, okay, on my way to work, start thinking about only what's ahead at work and focus on that. Very rarely called home to find out about the well-being of my child because I knew she wasn't good. She was, while we did have outside support, we had maids, etc., taking care of her, but I also knew that she had the oversight of her grandparents all through the day, watching over her. And that helped me, gave me that ease to work and perform at the workplace. The other thing that I did was then on my way back from home, I used to try to switch off and focus more on my child and my travel time so that I don't take my work home.
Many learnings that came my way, that came across. That couple of times, yes, we did have expectations. I did have expectations. But somewhere, sometimes you had to compromise with certain situations and things and move on. Moving on is important.
Okay, Sneha, I would definitely say that work-life balance is extremely important, and at times it's not really that easy to walk the tightrope. It requires a lot of time management, multitasking, and that's very crucial. Also, what is important is that when you face hardships, it's very, very important that you get inspired by them and not disillusioned and dejected. Because, if you're able to overcome those hardships, then you know that you can be inspired that you did something right, and let that teach you the way forward.
Decision making, being balanced emotionally, thinking more dynamic was something I think that has come to me, very naturally. So while I had initial, glitches with both managing work and motherhood, I think I could very well understand what was required at work and what was required as a mother. At the same time, once the child grows, what is required, with even your emotions, to more of discipline, and even at workplace where you are working with your peers, where you have a larger team, how important it is to even have those emotions as well, along with being very diplomatic or dynamic there.
Amount of time that has to be spent with children takes a beating when you have a full-time, highly demanding job. So there, I think I managed pretty well with three things in mind. So one was that focusing on quality time rather than quantity of time, and that quality time also how it comes out through multitasking and through arranging the tasks in such a way that I'm with the children and in their activities when they are learning cycling or swimming or something, and at the same time interacting. So one was quality of time we spent together, and second was I took great help of technology. I used technology to help my children in the way they had to study, or they had to say participate in a poetry recitation competition or something. So that was two. And third, I'll say what care I had taken was to have positive communication with children. Instead of having that guilt and passing it on to the children that, look, I'm so sorry, like this, it is not working out. Oh, I know I've been a bad mother, all those, no, not a positive communication and not passing on the guilt, rather than telling them that, look, these are the options, tell me which is the best one. I don't think my children, they ever said that, no, mom, leave the job, it's not good for us, or we are missing out on something, because the kind of positive communication that was made.
That concludes this video. Hope you liked it, and if so, do share with other working mothers in your circle who can benefit from this. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all.